let's get you those Chartbuster stock ideas. We've got Kunal and Nooresh joining right back to run us through what's setting the charts on fire. And Kunal, let's start off with your chart of the day, and that is ICICI Bank.
Good morning, Avan. So, ICICI Bank, again, a stock which has done reasonably well in the last 2-3 months, of course, and from a longer term perspective, there is a very interesting pattern which is shaping up for ICICI Bank in terms of indicator breakouts. Now, this is the stochastic oscillator breakout for ICICI Bank, mapped this indicator for the last 10 years approximately for the stock price, and this is the price charts for the stock on the weekly closing basis. Now, what's interesting is that whenever the stochastic oscillator gets into a breakout zone, the stock gets into a very strong uptrend, breaks past above the previous highs, and then crosses the previous highs by a margin of at least 10 to 15%. So we saw that happening for ICICI Bank in 2011-12 when the stock gave an oscillator breakout. From here on, the stock bottomed out, got into at least 1 year of uptrend. This was the case in 2013, 14, 16 as well. More recently was in 2019, 2020, 21, where the stock gave a similar kind of a breakout. And the nearest one was at 2022 start, when the stock gave a similar breakout at the 750 odd mark and then made a new high, crossed the previous high and made a new high further by a margin of 10%. The reason why I'm flagging off this is because ICICI Bank on this indicator is again showing signs of a similar kind of a possible breakout. The previous high for the stock is around 950 mark. So we go with the historical precedence. The stock has this tendency of rallying at least 10% further from those previous high zones. So we could be looking at a 4-digit mark breakout for ICICI Bank just on the basis of this very interesting observation.
All right, an interesting breakout is what Kunal is spotting on the charts of ICICI Bank. Moving on then, it's clearly banking. That's the flavor of the day from both of you technical guests. And Nooresh, IndusInd Bank?
Yeah, so looking at IndusInd Bank, the stock in the last 2 sessions has finally taken a shorter term range breakout. That 1170 mark has been taken out. Then we look at a little longer term picture. That is where the 1250 mark comes in. 1250 was the price roughly before the COVID fall. 1250 was the high in 2021. That was the same high in 2022. So it's been a major resistance, which I expect eventually to cross. In the short term, the first indication has come from the fact that it has crossed 1170, 1180 levels, which is the high for the last 3-4 months. Also, the big retest of 1000 mark, which was the breakout, has been also made a base around that area 3 times. So the setup is looking set for a breakout about 1250 also eventually. A target price in that case would be 1600, which is a large upside in terms of comparison with the banks. So expecting it to be the leader in the banking space going forward, would keep a stop loss at 1140 and be a buyer at current levels as well as on dips.
Okay, there you have it. ICICI Bank, IndusInd Bank. Those are the charts that they're tracking. But Kunal, let's get stock specific as well in terms of other recommendations that you're observing in the markets. What is it that you like?
So Glenmark Pharma is the first stock which recommend to buy. Very selective pharma names making a new swing high for themselves. This is one of the few stocks amongst them. 625 as a target, stop loss at 555. And Tata Communication, a stock which I discussed in the morning as well, seems to be up 1.5% so far. Would maintain that positive stance on Tata Communication. 1330 as a target, and stop loss could be kept at 1250.
All right, watch out for Tata Communications as well as Glenmark Pharma. Nooresh, your picks?
So first would be a buy on Gujarat Gas. The stock has seen a good reaction post numbers. The rest of the gas stocks have done really well. So this is a risk reward trade. A stop loss at 475 and a target price of 510. Second is a buy on DCB Bank, which has given a short term breakout. A stop loss at 111 and a target price of 150.
Those are the top recommendations coming in at this point of time. But shifting focus and